Hello, I'm Victoria Vazquez. I'm a Cherokee National Treasurer for pottery. I'm also a Cherokee Nation Tribal Counselor, and I'm very happy to be here today at the Cherokee Arts Center in Tahlequah, and I'll be introducing to you several of our Cherokee National Treasures. These are Cherokee artisans that over the years have refined an art form and have carried it forward, and they are selected every year by a jury of peers as well as the chief. And I'm pleased to announce that today we are starting with a friend of mine and a Cherokee National Treasure for pottery as well, and her name is Jane Osti. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Victoria.
How are you?
I'm good.
Tell me a little bit about what you do. Tell us what you do and how you do it.
All my pottery is hand-built using the coil method, and mostly I use red earthenware clay, and sometimes I used hand-dug clay from areas around Tahlequah. And I first learned the coil method from Anna Mitchell, and I've carried it forward for about 30-some years now, teaching classes and making my own pottery.
Have you been making a living at the art form?
That has been my only living for about 30 years.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Because very few artists can do that. Well, one of the things that I'm really proud of that we brought about just in the last few years, and Jane was instrumental in this as well as myself and other people in Cherokee Nation, but we started the National Treasure Mentoring Program.
Yes.
Would you talk a little bit about that and how you utilize that?
This is a great program. It helps our elders tremendously, and it also keeps our cultural arts alive. And we have a lot of elders, mostly elders, that are participating in this program. And they do a wonderful job, and they don't have college degrees, but they have their PhD in their art form. And they take them out to the cane patch or to the honeysuckle patch, and they collect their own materials, and some of them that make bows, they go chop down trees far away. But it has been just a tremendous opportunity for them. I've had a place where I could sell their work for quite a few years, and they were always so grateful when something sold. They said, now I can buy wood or I can buy propane. And I haven't heard that since this program began.
Well, would you like to show the pottery now and talk a little bit about the pieces that you've brought today?
Sure.
Okay.
You can come with me.
All right.
This is coil built, and I could add another coil. The thing could be this tall if I wanted it to be. You know, it's just at this stage now where I have to decide what it's going to be. And it's at a wet stage where it's still pliable and bendable. And this is a little bit past. This is also the decorating stage, and I brought, I usually decorate by incising. This is what these lines are, and they're usually drawn with a tool and then scraped out a little bit more with another tool. If I got a little bit ahead of myself when I'm working on it, I will smooth it out like this, and you'll do the same thing on the inside that you do on the outside. And this is my wonderful, most prized tool. This is what I polish the pots with. This one has been polished, but when it's in the dry stage, it doesn't look as shiny. And this one, the shiny part on it's where I've polished with this stone. And this one is ready to be fired when it gets really dry. And these two have been fired. They have been kiln fired. And if I want them to go dark like this one, I will fire them again. I do this outside. And this pot may be going to the National Museum of the American Indian. There's a movement, an organization where they're trying to bring awareness, and this is just part of my effort to add to that awareness of our missing and murdered people that don't get investigated, and people are left not knowing what happened to their loved ones for years, mostly in Indian country.
That's wonderful. Mm-hmm. That will be a perfect addition. Well, I believe through this video we'll be able to bring awareness to our national treasures, some of them, and that there is art for sale. Yes. And during Cherokee Holiday, which is all virtual, there will be an opportunity for people to see things going on in Cherokee Nation that normally would happen in real time with real people. Yeah. So I wish you continued success. Hi there, welcome back. We're continuing our conversations with Cherokee National Treasures today, and I would like to introduce you to a Cherokee National Treasure in stone and wood sculpture, and it's Mr. Eddie Morrison, and we're thrilled that he's here. Hi, Eddie.
Hi.
How you might tell us how you got started doing what you do?
Okay, well, when I was a kid, I grew up around people always making stuff with their hands, either quilting, crocheting, or making things out of wood and different things like that. And I had a good friend that lived across the street from me, Pete Van, and his dad always made these traditional wooden bows and arrows. And he was a cornstalk shooter, but I was always fascinated with the way he worked his wood. He'd let it cure for years and years, and I think that it was a pretty good influence on my working with wood and stuff. But I just kind of let the wood speak for itself. And of course, I fell in love with the red cedar wood because of the colors in it. There's no two alike, and it is natural to our area. I know the farmers and ranchers don't like it, but it is a beautiful, it's not an exotic wood, but it's a beautiful wood when it's finished. And
Yes.
I didn't really start my art until my kids were grown, I guess, but I started when I was in my 20s, I started out trying to be a painter. And I had some works accepted to the Philbrook Museum Indian Art Show, some paintings and different things. But I just never really felt natural painting. And once I picked up some wood and started carving, it just came so natural through my hands that I gravitated towards sculpture.
That's wonderful. So you've been doing it a lot of years, obviously.
Yeah, over 45 years probably.
And what year were you designated a National Treasure?
In 2014. And that was, I always tell people that was the pinnacle of my art career, because it's such an honor to be recognized by your own people and everything. And I just think it's a big deal, and I'm proud of it. Of course, you know, the ancient ancestors of ours used it as functional.
Right.
Their pottery and their baskets and different things, and the stone carvings and making different things with the wood, and yeah, I don't know, it's just part of our life. And I think that you know, we have so much of that DNA in us from our ancient ancestors, and that's what I always try to depict in my work is we're survivors. A lot of people say, that's a sad-looking face, but I always say it's a serious, enduring face over what we've been through in our lives. You know, and here we are today. We survived a pretty tragic thing, the Trail of Tears. So
Exactly.
we're just representative of our ancestors.
And we are still surviving some serious things now.
Exactly.
Speaking of the COVID pandemic and the shutdown, how has that affected you as an artist?
Well, every show I had scheduled this year, which were about 6, were canceled. So it had a great impact on, of course, finances. But fortunately, the Cherokee Nation has a few things going that they purchased some of my work and kept me above water. So I'm thankful for that. And I know there's a lot of people hurting right now, and it's like a whole year of your life being gone. So it's too bad, really.
Would you tell us a little bit about the pieces here on the table, what they're made of, and what you were
Yes.
thinking when you made them?
Now this piece here, when we built our house, they were hauling rocks and gravel in for the fill and different things, and I saw it laying there, and that guy was about ready to bulldoze it off, and I said, I like that stone. It was just shaped like that, and I left quite a bit of the natural in it so it can speak to itself. But I made it the year that we built our house, so it means a lot to me. And I just dug it out of the stuff he was hauling to the house.
Oh, wow.
And I always think that could be some of our ancestors, you know, making their way on the Trail of Tears or something like that. But I do hope it's, you know, it represents our people with a proud, dignified way in life. So I try to do that and strive to get that effect on people. This is a piece of red cedar, and it comes locally from here locally in Oklahoma. And like I said, it's not an exotic wood, but it is a beautiful wood when it's finished. And it can be an old dead piece of wood, and you can just see it come back to life. And then when I use a tongue oil, which is a hand rub finish, on the piece. And a lot of these different colors and different markings in it, you never see until you put that finish on there, and it just like pops out.
Can you tell us where your work is available for sale?
Well, I have work available in the Spider Gallery, which is here in town, in Tahlequah, and also the Cherokee Nation Gift Shop sells a lot of my work too. So that's the two places that you can get a piece of it. So,
Good.
and of course, Victoria, I know you are an artist, a great artist, have been for many years. So you know exactly what I'm talking about when you get a feeling of creating something with your hands and you watch it come to life. It just gives you an exhilaration that you never would get some other way, I guess. But
True.
I mean, and I've always said that, you know, being creative is a mystery. I mean, you don't know why or how it comes out goes out your hands and comes into that. And I just think it's fantastic when you get that feeling when you finish a piece. And I know you know that feeling. So,
I do.
yeah.
I do. It's one of the best things about being an artist.